We're about to flip a huge social assumption on its head. What if I told you that preferring your own company wasn't antisocial, but maybe, just maybe, a secret sign of high intelligence? Today, we are digging into the minds of people who don't just put up with solitude, they absolutely thrive in it. Seriously, think about it. You see someone eating alone at a restaurant, or maybe traveling solo. What's your first gut reaction? For so many of us, it's a little bit of pity, right? But why do we automatically jump to the conclusion that alone equals lonely? Well, it turns out psychology tells a completely different story. And this right here is the core myth we're busting today. On one side, you've got the common view that being alone must mean sadness or you're avoiding something. But the psychological reality? Oh, that points to something way more powerful. Real independence, space for deep thought, and a solid sense of emotional security. So how can you spot this in yourself or maybe in someone you know? Let's break down 5 key psychological signs of a highly independent mind. These are traits that are super powerful, but honestly, they're often totally misunderstood. Okay, first up, it's this deep, profound reliance on internal validation. You know how some people need a group around them to feel okay in public? Well, an independent mind isn't looking outside for approval. Their sense of value, their happiness, it comes from the inside. Psychologists actually have a term for this: low social dependency, and it's a core trait of emotional independence. It means your self-worth isn't fragile. It's not on a roller coaster that goes up and down based on what other people think. Think of it this way: your sense of identity stays stable, with or without a crowd. Who you are just isn't defined by who you're with. All right, sign number 2. This one really builds on that idea of an internal focus. For a lot of highly intelligent people, solitude isn't about running away from others, it's about actively carving out mental space. Their brains are literally wired to need room for ideas to bump into each other and for deep thought to really happen. And get this, a study in the British Journal of Psychology actually found that highly intelligent people are often less satisfied with constant socializing. It's not that they dislike people, not at all. It's that they recharge through solitude, not through small talk. Being alone lets them access this deeper state of thinking, totally free from distractions. And this need for mental quiet time, it leads us directly into our third sign. I mean, think about most group hangouts. They come with these invisible social rules, don't they? You gotta be on, manage how other people are feeling, keep the smile going. For an independent mind, that kind of forced performance is just absolutely draining. It's really a tale of two different worlds. On one side, you've got this complicated web of forced performance, but on the other, you have complete, total control over your own time and your own energy. It's the freedom to just be authentic, not just polite. Fourth up, let's talk about observation. People who are comfortable being alone aren't just sitting there passively. Nope. They are often incredibly active observers, noticing all the subtle details in their environment that you completely miss when you're busy with group chatter. Psychologists call this active observation, and it's a skill that's tied directly to intelligence. When you're alone, your mind is free to analyze everything: the tone of voice, the emotion in the room, the logic of an argument. It basically frees up your brain's processing power to go deeper. So the point is, solitude isn't empty. It's rich with information. When your focus isn't on managing a group, you can see the world with a kind of clarity that's otherwise pretty much impossible. And finally, the fifth sign. This one often has its roots way, way back in our earliest childhood experiences. Sometimes being comfortable on your own comes from what you could call developmental psychology. It might stem from early life experiences where a person just learned, out of pure necessity, to be incredibly self-reliant. Think about it. Kids who can't always depend on others for support, they learn to handle problems, to deal with pain, and even to celebrate their wins all by themselves. As adults, that becomes a powerful skill for navigating the world solo. It's not that they don't like company, it's just that their brain is hardwired for self-reliance. So if any of this is starting to sound familiar, if you're the one who's happy booking a solo trip or grabbing a coffee by yourself, it's so important to know you're not strange. In fact, your psychology is geared towards some pretty incredible strengths. See, what society often mislabels as loneliness is actually something else entirely. It's a powerful mix of self-reliance, deep reflection, and emotional balance. These aren't weaknesses, they are the absolute hallmarks of a mature and independent mind. Which leaves us with just one final thought. The next time you choose to be alone, ask yourself this: are you running from the world, or are you actually running towards yourself? The answer might just change how you see, well, everything.